joining us in studio right now. He is the producer and leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band. Great guy, and he's been on my show before. Of course, I'm talking about the very talented John Acosta joining us in studio. John, it's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Man, it's good to see you guys again. This is a nice little visit this morning.
You have a look of like a rock star. You have that look to you, right? Would you agree, Chris? He looks like a rock star.
Without question.
He's got the hair.
Absolutely.
The hair's
to
natural.
the T, my friend. You got it down pat.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
When was the first time you got up on stage and performed a Bee Gees song? How old were you?
Wow. 1979, probably.
Wow, I wasn't even born yet.
And, you know, and I discovered that, I was such a Beatle fan. But when Barry came along with the Saturday Night Fever period, that's when I realized that I had that high voice. So, yeah, it was I was already playing guitar since I was 10 years old.
There are a lot of professional singers and musicians that they don't have anywhere near the range that you have it, right? Is it fair to say it's not necessarily something you learn? Either you have it or you don't, or can you learn to sing like the way you sing?
I think that because Lennon, had such an influence vocally on Barry Gibb that I used to imitate Lennon. So then Barry Gibb, he reinvented his sound, just to keep the band surviving through the decades. So when he, hit those notes, I just kind of like played along. But of course, I've been doing Barry Gibb now. I've been making a living Barry Gibbon for about 12 years. And of course, when I got the opportunity, I went back to his records and studied, because that's what you do to be a tribute.
Oh, that is so cool. People don't even know this, that you performed everywhere, and you also have a song on the Coming to America 2 soundtrack.
That's right.
You wrote a song for that movie. How did that come about?
That's something that was a Prince pitch. So the movie was looking for something that sounded like 1984, and then they reach out to me, a library out of LA, and say, do you have anything that sounds Bee Gees and Princey? And I'm like, do I? And then I got it. And then they said, congratulations, you got on the Coming to America.
That's so cool. Chris, what is your favorite Bee Gees song?
Wow. You put me on the spot right here. I gotta go with Staying Alive.
Wow.
Gotta go Staying Alive.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. John Acosta? You think we can do a little Staying Alive?
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud, my women won't. I've been kicked around since I was born. When I was alright, that's okay. You may look the other way, but we can try to understand New York Times effect on man. Staying alive. I'm gonna walk.
And of course, Brian, that's
awesome.
a song that came to prominence. Obviously late 70s.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever was a huge movie.
Yeah,
it was basically the staple that kind of platform that catapulted disco.
That's right.
Onto the scene. But do you think that the Bee Gees kind of don't get enough credit just because they came about, right? They rose to prominence during that disco era.
Yeah.
And I think that, do you think it kind of took away from some of the respect that you think they should get?
Yes. Because the movie came out during the time that it was 1977, so the disco era was already done.
Right.
It started back in 74. So everybody that was part of that movie were like, we're making a movie about an Italian kid running around with a paint can and learning how to dance, or being the dancer of the night.
Right.
And then the Bee Gees, they became such a oversaturated. But look at us now. My generation's in the 50s now. We adore it. We're filling up the rooms again. The places and the respect level, because not only when you're doing, the Bee Gees falsetto stuff, but you also have to, give them credit for writing number ones for Andy Gibb, right? Shadow Dancing, Yvonne Elliman, right? And then Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers have the biggest duo country hit of all time because Barry Gibb wrote it.
And that's what's intriguing too, is Andy Gibb had his own solo career in his own right.
Yeah.
At the same time, basically, as the Bee Gees were at the top of their game. But you talked about, the falsetto stuff.
Yeah.
There's also the great classics. How Deep Is Your Love?
How Deep Is Your Love?
Unbelievable song. That is not necessarily a disco song. It is just a great, basically a slow, romantic tune.
Yeah.
Right.
And
John,
it doesn't stop there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just, go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't stop there. It's like they are writing that song and they're basically saying, well, this is too soft for us because it's 1977 and it's like you can't be too, soft, girly looking or sounding. And so they say, we're going to give it to Yvonne Elliman. And it would have been great. I know your eyes in the mouth and shine. You get that.
Yeah.
Then the manager, Robert Stigwood, who's a genius, he said, no bloody way. You are cutting this song, Barry. And Barry was like, oh, no, we're such a ballad band, we need to, because it's something that they were fully aware of, that they were getting trashed as like, a Beatle copy and a ballad, heavy string laid in production.
Me and John agree on a lot politically, so I won't ask John to sing any Ted Nugent or Kid Rock. Don't worry, we won't go there. But like, is there a song that you get tired of playing?
Oh no,
never.
No, I mean, I'm a songwriter as well. So as we said earlier, so I love and adore the craft and the creativeness that goes behind writing music.
Right. And
Barry is the guitar player, right? And so each song I can dissect and say, look how he put this together. And it's something to me that if somebody says you must be tired of singing Staying Alive. No, I'm not. Look at me. I just did it right now.
Yeah. How many shows do you do every year? I mean, you travel everywhere, right?
Yeah.
How many shows are you doing on average? Forget about, post-pandemic or pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Like how many average shows do you do?
We're like, we really boomed this year, but we're looking at it like 120, dates a year.
That's like 1 out of every 3 days you're doing a show.
And I'm on the road every weekend and 1 to 2 shows out there.
Wow.
And then this summer we've had the midweek shows, the routers and things. And it's all great except for the travel, of course.
We're staying in a lot of hotels
all the time.
Yeah. You do the tour bus thing or not really?
No, not the tour bus. Not yet. Not yet.
So I feel like, and I think you'll agree with me, in the times that we're living in, we're so divided. There's so much hate out there.
True.
And I feel like music is such a wonderful escape, right? It doesn't matter what your political views are. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. At least it shouldn't, or your sexuality, whatever the case may be. We're just so divided. But you go to a show, like I was just telling you, I went to see Richard Marx a few weeks ago. Younger people, older people, everyone just had such a wonderful time. It was just such a great show.
Yeah.
And I just feel like music is that pathway for people, very similar to maybe sports in some aspects, where it's just a getaway from your problems.
Yeah.
And you forget about some of the hatred out there.
Absolutely. And they come up to me at the end of the show. And I mean, some of them, obviously the women, they really appreciate it, no matter what side they're on. But we know where we are when we are in Texas and certain parts of the southern states, and we filled houses. And then some of the guys come up, with their hats, and they come and say, I don't even like the BJs, but you guys I'd like.
Because there's an element of a nostalgia, right? That comes into play here.
Yeah.
And look,
you can't deny
Bee Gees are unique, which is really cool
about
this band. Now, look, we can talk about the 70s and talk about the fluff or whatever, and call it what you use the adjectives and some of the ways to describe groups like the Bee Gees, right? And you can go back to groups like Bread and America, and even to more to an extent, a group like Ambrosia, right? Which had that kind of label back in the 70s. But you, John, think about it. In the last 25 years, there's never really been anything, right, that's anything near as far as unique as the Bee. They have so many singers. They have 5 guys that are able to get every single range. When Justin Timberlake was still with the band, and they did an outstanding tribute to the Bee Gees, and were able to capture kind of that essence. But there really hasn't been anything like the Bee Gees.
Well, I'm going to push back.
I'm going to
push back on a little bit of what you said, and I'm going to say we had a very talented guy in studio here a few weeks ago. His name is William Hung from American Idol. And Numchuck, I don't know if you have some of that. Maybe we could play it for Mr. John Acosta, because certainly he appreciates fantastic musicians. So all right, so here's
also great promotion.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you that.
That's right. All right, so here's American Idol's very own William Hung when he was in studio here. This is William Hung singing for us live in studio. Here it is. We had it. We lost it. But
that was good.
Yeah, that was excellent.
That boy can sing.
You might actually think that was better than what we're about.
That boy's good. That boy's good.
Maybe it's my headphones.
Good and terrible.
All right. Well, here it is. William Hung, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
She bangs. Oh, baby, when she moves. I go crazy cause she loves like it flow, but she still like it be. Now every girl in history.
John,
Yeah.
he made millions of dollars.
He
off
sure
of that.
did. Like I said, great promotion.
What do you make of American Idol? Like, what do you make of these reality TV shows?
Oh, well, I haven't watched since like Simon was a real prick on the show.
He is. He
way
still
back.
is.
Oh, he's still on?
Yeah, he still is. Yeah.
I don't watch that show at all. Yeah. I remember the day when it was the hoopla that, we and all of us would say, who's the real singer? Who's really the real deal?
But I gotta ask, because you're the real musician, right? And I want to ask you, a Britney Spears or a J-Lo or some of these singers, and I put that in quotations, that'll make $300,000 or $400,000, doing one show on the Strip. They don't play any instruments. Some of them lip sync. As a true musician as you are, what do you make of that?
Well, that's that's one of those things where good management, good promo, and it's something more than just musical talent.
Right.
I can admit, I love My Loneliness Is Killing Me. Now, she didn't write it. Max Martin wrote it and produced it. But I love that song, again, for the craft of it. So whoever got to represent that song, and at that time she was 16 and a girly, schoolgirl outfit. What's wrong with that? No, anyways,
Let's talk to Harvey Weinstein when he thinks about that.
And that's what they promoted, and it worked.
It did. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's a concert. I don't.
No,
think
it's not. You're right.
It's not. They're entertainers, but
I don't think it's a 90-minute show. But hey, I've not seen the show, but I've gone to other shows where it was just that kind of dancing and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's not for me.
Not for me either. I mean, they're very attractive ladies, and some of them are very good dancers. But when I go see a show or see a concert, I want to see somebody like you. I want to see a real musician playing real instruments, singing.
Right.
That, to me, that's real talent. I think anybody could learn how to dance, but not everybody can learn how to sing and play a guitar.
And half of these girls right now on television, I don't even have television. I just watch it all on YouTube. I mean, they look like they're performing for Sapphire. So
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
We were just over there. Yeah, we were just we just did our show. We just did our show.
I got to be invited to that.
We just did our show live.
Not this
Friday.
radio great looking room.
But Brian and John, it's been a transition, right? We're talking about it's just a different music industry now, obviously, because we live in the internet age, right? Where you have people on. I mean, the internet's completely changed things as far as how artists get exposed, right? And how you can basically break into the music industry.
That's right. Well,
there's no question about that. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with John Acosta, the producer and leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band. So, Chris, John can play just about anything. He's very talented. What is another Bee Gees song, maybe a piece of a Bee Gees song that you would like him to perform? I'm putting you on the spot again.
Wow. So those are the two songs that I'm a huge fan of, Staying Alive and How Deep Is Your Love.
Well, he can go outside the box, this guy. I mean, this guy can sing just about anything.
Wow. I think we're more interested. First, it's Brian Shapiro's show, baby. It's pushing the limits. Brian Shapiro, what do you want to hear? That down the line of Bee Gees. I want to hear what B-Shap wants to hear.
This guy
from the classic.
This guy's nice enough to come in here and perform
group
for us. Maybe I should give him the opportunity to choose. What song would you like to perform for us instead of us shouting requests at you like it's karaoke or something?
You remember? I mean, it's obviously all the Bee Gees stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you remember I used to do some Prince.
Oh, I love Prince. I'd love to hear some Prince.
It time for you to go to the fire. You will hit, 'cause you got the burning desire. Kareem, get on top. Kareem, you will cop. Kareem, don't you stop. Cream, shabuki, pop. Yeah.
Wow, this guy's good. This guy's good, man.
One of my biggest regrets, Brian and John, is not getting a chance to see that show that it was at the Rio, right? Remember, Prince was here doing basically like a semi-residency. He was going back and forth, and occasionally coming to Vegas. That show, it was, and I heard a lot of great things about it. never got a chance to see Prince
That's
before
terrible.
he unfortunately passed away in that show here in Vegas.
Yeah, that was awful. Prince, the Purple Rain show here is pretty good, but I got to say, what you just did there, it sounded even better. Diamonds and Pearls has always been one of my favorites. Look at that.
This will be the day you will hear me say, I will never run away. If I gave you diamonds and pearls, would you be a happy boy or a girl? If I could, I would give you the world. All I can do is just stop for you, my love.
I could listen to this guy all day.
So, John, one of the more difficult songs I gotta believe for any singer is the tune Tragedy, because you see the videos, right? You see Barry and you see the brothers, they're all there in the studio session. And I'm like, how can a human being actually catch those notes? I mean, I'm talking about ear cracking notes, like highs that
so
are
Chris,
just
you're telling us
unbelievable.
you're going to sing it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that would be a absolute radio travesty if I tried to pull off that song
it's
right there.
1:30 in the afternoon, but I'll give it a shot.
Here I lie in a lost and lonely part of town. Every time in a world of tears I slowly drown. Going home, I just can't make it all alone. I really should be holding you, loving you, loving you. Tragedy, when the feeling's gone and you can't go on, it's tragedy. When the morning cries, you don't know why it's hard to bear. With no one to love you, you're going nowhere.
Oh man, that is amazing. Honestly, like the notes that you are hitting perfectly. I can't even fathom it. It's like pre-puberty. I couldn't even hit those notes. So, it's unbelievable, man. How good was that?
That was top notch all around. I was having my my Howard Stern from Private Parts moment where I'm dancing around the studio, you know.
So, John, forgive me if I'm getting too personal here, but family, are you married, kids, any of that?
No, I'm single, and
I would imagine a lot of women come up to you after shows. And,
there's a lot of wonderful, expressive, moments.
What's the weirdest thing that someone threw to you on stage? Like the weirdest thing? I would imagine a bra is not something that never happens, but have you had any weird situations like that? You've been doing this for decades.
Oh yeah, there was. It's an outdoor festival, and it's hot as hell, and and it's just something's happening, and then somebody just kind of tosses something on stage, and while I'm singing, so
underwear,
underwear. Well. No, wasn't wearing any.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But well, you know what? It's like
I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow.
And I was literally doing and then when it happened I went so I went.
This is kind of a great transition to another Bee Gees classic that I like, John.
Which one?
Which is More Than a Woman, right?
Oh,
is that not a transition? That story right there?
I love doing that one.
Into one of the Bee Gees' great
classics.
So
I want you guys to sing the chorus with me. Okay?
We'll try.
I can pull it
off. So the chorus is just
more than a woman, more than a woman to me.
All right, Chris, do it. Yeah.
All right.
Girl, I know you very well. Sing it going every day. I never really let me go, but now you take my breath away. Here in your arms I found my paradise. I only change for happiness. And if I lose your love, I think I will die. Oh, say you'll always be my baby. We can make it shine. We can take forever, just a minute at a time.
Go.
More than a woman.
Ooh, my baby. More than a woman to me. So much more. More than a woman. Come on, sugar. More than a woman to me. 'Cause you are more than a woman.
So I could kind of do
Nice job. That wasn't so bad.
It was Maurice, right? Maurice the guy who did the lower parts. So I can
Nunchuck,
maybe
you're
dive
next.
into that. I believe it was Maurice, right? That was doing the lower.
Yeah,
That was
lower
not
end.
bad at all.
The lower
That
end
was better
parts.
than I expected. Chris was able to hold his own there. That was actually
It
pretty
wasn't
damn
cracking
good.
too bad, right? It
That
wasn't
was
going off.
not bad. So John, you're a big Beatles fan, of course,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I love John Lennon, man. He was
Yeah.
always my favorite Beatle. I think Imagine is one of the most beautiful songs of all time. I actually sang that at a piano bar the other day. But you know, Paul McCartney's still around, right? He's still doing music. So the people that are still performing today, like, what are the concerts you say, man, I would spend whatever to go see this person? Like, who would it be?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to get a chance to, and I've never been able to because we're on the road, but, you know, to see Barry Gibb, you know, do the.
You've never met him?
Not yet.
That's surprising to me.
Well,
do you think he's ever seen your music?
I have. I'm fully aware through contacts and family members that he has been aware of Bee Gees Gold, and he made a nice compliment.
How nice is that? You know, you grew up idolizing this band, and you're such a great musician yourself, and to hear that this band, at least the members that are still alive right now, has, you know, watched your music, listened to your music, and appreciate that's got to mean a lot to you.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And when I heard that news, I was literally flying back from the Philippines, and we were performing in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
And they told me, and they said, yeah, we spoke to Barry, and we had some business to do. And then he said, you know, I got my guys here, and they're performing Bee Gees Gold. And he said, yes, Bee Gees Gold. They do it very well.
That's so cool, man.
And
that is so cool.
You know, and I was like, listen, buddy, I'm jet lagged. And I got to go on stage soon.
Right.
Don't F with me right now. If that's what he didn't say, you better say it. You better say it. So,
that is so cool, man. I
loved it.
Yeah, when you look up to these guys, and then you know a member of the band that's still around makes a statement like that, that's pretty cool. Have you been approached of doing any shows here in Vegas, like full time, like maybe 2 or 3 days a week? Anything?
No, I mean, I basically came here about now exactly 10 years, and we used to do the Chrome, and we used to do the Boulder every Friday and Saturday.
Boulder Station.
Yeah, and that was with an entertainment director that really believed in me and supported me. And then they changed the whole system, the entertainment, and we were literally found done with the gig. Yeah. And so that was about a year of that work. And then I said, I'm taking this full time on the road.
I think that you made a pretty good decision. What did you do during the pandemic, by the way? When during the pandemic, when you know there were no shows, like what were you doing?
Well, we were just like week by week, you know, waiting and what does that state say? What does that governor say? And then it was some guy was on television. I'm doing a great job. It's the best thing I've ever done. And and I wrote little ditties. You know, I would grab my guitar and I, you know, I'm a very expressive man, and I would just watch somebody on stage and on that podium and
what would you do if say Donald Trump was playing some of your music before he got on stage? Like, would you immediately want to sue him? Like, what would you want to do?
Well, he went and played Purple Rain, right? And that freaked me out, right? It was like you're walking out on Purple Rain, bro. Yeah. Prince had nothing to do with everything that's going on, right? But I wrote a little ditty I think you would probably appreciate. During 2020, I wrote this little ditty. Kayleigh McEnany said the president never said that he called it the Kung Flu. Oh, Kayleigh McEnany, you nothing but a lying fool. Kayleigh, you're a fool. Kayleigh McEnany said the president wears a mask, but he doesn't want to show the fake news.
He just doesn't want to show you, okay?
Oh, Kayleigh McEnany. Oh, baby, you're excused. Baby, you're excused. My little Bobby Kayleigh. Ooh, everybody sing now, come on. My little lion Kayleigh. That's McEnany. My little Bobby Kayleigh. Baby boo hoo hoo. Kayleigh, you're excused.
Yes, I like it. By the way, she's on Fox News now. What a shocker.
That is not a cover, folks. That is an original
That's
right
right.
there.
That's
what I love about
When is your Bill O'Reilly song coming out? That's what,
You remember that guy.
that's what I want to know.
But that's what I would do. I would just watch and go, oh, I have to express myself. You can't throw that orange brick at the television. So, you grab your guitar and you express.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to ask you a little bit about, I know you're a guy that's pretty opinionated like I am when it comes to what's going on in the world these days. I want to ask you about that. I want to ask you about Joe Biden and his administration, the prior administration, the FBI raid. I want to get your thoughts on that. And if anybody would like to call in, maybe you have a request you would like to hear John play. Just no Justin Bieber. That's one I won't allow that. But anything
new.
No. Number to call, 702-221-7283. And again, that number, if you want to be a part, you can give us a call right now. That number is 702-221-7283. It's not every day you have a great musician in studio like John. He is incredible. John Acosta, producer, leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band. By the way, before we take a quick break, I do want to say that the My J Supreme, the first national three-point contest where the finale ends here in Vegas, it's going to be Saturday, September 10th at Durango High School. The championship there will be $25,000 cash on the line. Winners from across the country will compete for the grand prize. Please go check them out. Go to myjsupreme.com for more details. Again, that's myjsupreme.com. We'll be back with John Acosta after this. Take your calls at 221-7283. You're listening to Pushing Limits right here on KSHP.
Hey, everybody. Are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Look, it's impossible for the average person to find a great attorney out there. There's so much misinformation. Now, let me introduce you to former Chief Deputy District Attorney Thomas Moskal. He was Las Vegas's top DUI prosecutor for years. He prosecuted the most high-profile DUI cases in Clark County. No one knows more about DUI law in Nevada. Just Google it. If you get charged with DUI, whether it's a misdemeanor or even more importantly, a felony, you need Thomas Moskal representing you. His relationships with the prosecutors and judges and his knowledge of DUI law to work for you. So give him a call now or text him at 702-848-5555. It's your life and liberty that's at stake. Don't wait. Call now. That number again, 702-848-5555. I want to tell you guys about one of my favorite doctors in the Valley, Dr. K. She's a board-certified internal medicine physician. She's been in practice for over 20 years, went to Yale. She believes in treating body and mind as a whole by achieving harmony and balance. She offers hormone replacement, Botox, skin rejuvenation, even snoring treatment, because we know how that can be annoying from time to time. Also plasma treatments and so much more with cutting-edge technology. Please give her a call. 702-410-5779. You could also give her an email at cosmeticaesthetics.lv@gmail.com. Again, that number, 702-410-5779. Call Dr. K. Tell them I sent you, and I promise you won't be disappointed. My J Supreme is the first national three-point contest where the finale ends right here in Las Vegas on Saturday, September 10th at Durango High School. On Championship Saturday, there's going to be $25,000 cash on the line. Winners from across the country will compete for the grand prize. Go watch and support the great cause, which is to raise money for community and gun violence intervention programs. There'll be an interactive fan contest where you can win cash and gift cards. Go to myjsupreme.com for more details. Again, myjsupreme.com. Hey, everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site X-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement, and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554. All right, welcome back. That's the sound of John Acosta, the producer and the leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band. Very, very talented man. By the way, speaking of great guests, John's certainly one of them. We got some great guests lined up for the rest of the week. The Mooch himself, Anthony Scaramucci, is going to be joining us on Thursday. John Ralston does a great job covering politics here in the state of Nevada. He's going to be joining us this week. Eric Harper, the athletic director for UNLV. Ed Rowland, the lead singer of the band Collective Soul, is going to be joining us. We got Patrick Lindsay coming in the studio. He's the director of the Shriners Hospital for Children's Open. I know he's going to have some opinions on the Live Golf Tour. Michelle Mortensen will be joining us in studio on Wednesday. So we got a lot of great guests lined up for you this week. Looking forward to it. By the way, quickly, before we get back to John and his illustrious career and the great musician that he is, I got to tell you, Chris, you might have been noticing I'm a little jacked up. Last time John saw me, I was a little overweight. I've lost a little bit of weight. I got to say, I've been taking the testosterone therapy down the street at the Sahara West Urgent Care. I'm 18 again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. They're awesome there. 6125 West Sahara Avenue. You walk in there. I was in and out of there in 20 minutes. Most urgent care, it takes like 2 hours, right? In and out of there 20 minutes. They take most insurances. And if you don't have insurance, $95 to go in there and get checked out. You don't even need an appointment. You can give them a call, though, 702-248-0554, SaharaWestUrgentCare.com. Please check them out. Wonderful people. In fact, the owners there, I went to their engagement party over the weekend. Very nice couple. Sahara West Urgent and Primary Care. Please check them out. I don't know, Mr. Acosta. Would testosterone therapy hurt your voice?
Is that for a lack of testosterone?
I guess so, yeah.
I got way too much.
You got way too much. Okay, fair enough. What do you make, John? We were just talking a little bit about, because I talk a lot of politics on this show. What do you make of the divide this country is in right now, and this FBI raid and Republicans going after FBI agents? It's crazy, right?
You know, Laura Ingraham said it the other day, and I don't follow her, but I
evil witch, the evil racist
exactly.
witch.
Yeah. You know, Veta von Gruten or Eva Braun.
Yeah.
But she said, we're tired. We just want to move on. Maybe we should look at somebody else. And she named someone else. And then, that's something that I simply say, doesn't matter what side you're on.
Yes.
Let's move on. It's enough. I mean, the flushing of the toilets and the papers are, I now declassify everything with my magic wand, and then every lawyer and what the hell.
I agree.
It's too much.
I agree. Number to call 702-221-7283. We're here with John Acosta, not to be confused with Jim Acosta, by the way, but a great reporter from CNN.
Well, I get you.
No relation, right, John?
No relation. But I mean, that guy's got balls, man.
He does.
He speaks up, and
he does.
He went through the ringer with him.
I like him.
But I'll get that. They'll go, another Acosta. Oh yeah, buddy. Wow, that's original.
Number to call 702-221-7283. We got great guy, great musician, phenomenal. John Acosta, the producer and leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band, super talented guy. Let's start off with Robin. Hi, Robin. Thanks for calling in. Thank you for that performance. I like John's a little bit better, but I appreciate that. Thank you for the call.
Robin.
What would you give that on a scale of 1? I don't think that was Robin, by the way. I think that was Robert. But
yeah.
What did you think of that performance?
I give it a 4.
A 4. All right. Well, I'd give it like a 2.5.
Okay.
702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to John. John, what's going on? You're on with Mr. John Acosta.
Hey, man. Hey, John, man, you got some serious talent, man. You're in my wheelhouse. I suspect I'm the only one of the 4 of us who actually owned a leisure suit and platform shoes.
Yeah, brother, I still wear them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, man, you should have a residency in Vegas, and I like the BJs, but I love Prince, man. If you could develop a Prince show, I just can't see why you don't have a residency
Hold
here.
on. Let me correct you. It's not the BJs. It's the BGs. You must be thinking about Bill Clinton. I just want to be clear on that. It's not the BJs. I mean, don't get me wrong. That sounds like a really fun band. Don't get me wrong. Well, a band I'd like to be in, but it's the BGs. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Geez, that's a Freudian slip, huh? Hey,
Yeah.
I got a request for you, man.
Yeah.
The greatest band of all time is clearly Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could maybe do Gratitude by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh man, Gratitude. I can't sing
Any Earth, Wind, and Fire song if you don't have that one queued up.
On and on, say do you remember? On and on, dancing in September. On and on, never was a cloudy day. Bop, bop, bop.
All right. I like it. Look at that.
Thanks, John.
Little Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Just spontaneous on a whim right there. I love that.
I guess if somebody wants to call in and sing some BGs, they can, or BJs as
I
the
bet
last
we
caller
had.
just said,
There's
yeah.
been announcements like that, and we just let it go because they go, ladies and gentlemen, BJ's Gold. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, okay.
They must be talking about Kimberly Guilfoyle. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah. 702-221-72.
lap dance girl.
702-221-7283 is the number to call. What would you, if Donald Trump Jr. gave you a call?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's calling you right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
If he gave you a call and he said, John, I will pay you $100,000, come out there with your band and play like, I don't know, 6 or 7 songs. Would you do it?
Yeah, I say, yeah. I ain't gonna fight the money.
Would you shake his hand and take a picture with him?
I'll give him a fist bump.
Is there anybody that you would refuse to perform for? Anybody at all?
Oh man.
Like if Harvey Weinstein called you from his jailhouse and he said, "Will you?"
What kind of a show would that be?
Yeah, will you come to my jail and like I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, you're an opinionated guy. Is there somebody that you would? I understand money's money, but would you? Is there anybody in this country that you would refuse to perform for?
Well, I mean, I don't really have any sort of vile character out there that I would say no to. So I mean, Ted Cruz is a weasel.
Oh, he's the worst.
He's the worst. But then you've got Jim Jordan. He's another
Gymnasium. Yeah, Gymnasium.
Yeah. So how do you differentiate, right?
Yeah.
What would you do if you were in the middle of your performance and you saw Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene front row, and they wanted to meet you backstage?
Well, yeah.
What would you do?
Well, Bobby's, exactly. You're dropping me on. You're putting a bomb on me here.
Yeah.
How would you handle that?
Bobby's cute, and just as dumb as a post.
In a trailer trash type way, she's cute. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the glasses and.
Would you perform in her mobile home?
In her mobile home?
Yeah, I don't know. She probably does have a house now. What do you make of the fact of her where she gets her GED just so that she could get into office? Her husband is the one that exposed his genitalia in front of kids at a bowling alley. She had a restaurant. I guess it closed down. They got a bunch of people sick, gave people diarrhea. They didn't know how to cook food properly.
Yeah.
And then she's in front of a camera every day just spewing nonsense about it shouldn't be separation of church and state. Church and state should run our country.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, here's interesting about her. I'm going on a tangent here, but she talks about our forefathers, right? Our forefathers said that you shouldn't have an opinion if you're a woman. If you're a woman, you can't be allowed to vote. They basically would tell you to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But yet she wants to talk about our forefathers. Does she not understand that our forefathers said women shouldn't have an opinion, by the way, which I completely disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she has no understanding of history at all.
That's right. Well, they're going to lose their seats on the abortion issue. Okay,
What do you
because
make
the
of that?
women are going to vote.
Yeah.
They're going to vote you out. They're just like you're taking away the rights, the God-given rights. You're taking away the health care, which in this country there's hardly any. These women are in these positions, okay? And I just have to say, you can't take that away because the women will pay you back.
So, John, we're talking about all these Republican blowhards, right? And talking a lot about politics and our former, Cheeto in chief, Donald Trump. There's a song that comes to my mind. Another Bee Gees classic, my friend.
Wow.
It's called Jive Talking.
Talking, you're telling me lies. It gets in my eyes. Nobody believe what you say. It's just your jive talking that gets in the way.
I don't know how you come up with the
It's
Cheeto
just,
reference?
hey, it's because there's a lot of jive talking going on, guys,
Oh.
among people, among these right-wing re-Trumplicans out there.
Yes.
I had to make the transition. I had to do.
That's a good one.
It's a little radio transition.
Be careful when you say that, though, because a lot of Republicans don't like that when you use the
Yeah.
term transition. They're very much they're very much against that. That is for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite song over the years to perform live, and still is to this very day?
I love this song. Oh, this is my song because I think of my mom, right?
I can see beyond forever. Everything we are will never die. Loving such a beautiful thing. Oh, you make my world a summer's day. I just a dream to fade away. Nobody gets too much heaven now. It's much harder to come back. I'm waiting in line.
Wow. Really good.
Outstanding.
Really good, man. And then you think about your mom, of course.
I do. I lost her in 2020.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And we had a
yeah.
bond. She's back in Canada.
Yeah.
And I was in Vegas. And she was so supportive, believed in everything I would do, took care of me. And she had her proudest moments when she would always say, Juan Carlos, when you hit that high note, and it's that heaven note I just hit. And sometimes, like I just played LA State Fair.
Yeah.
I was on an elevated stage. And I've got my, 4-inch heels on. So I'm really towering above everybody. And I look over to the left just for, maybe 3 seconds or so. And I looked out to the sky and I see that mountain view. And I literally could see as if some spirits were just all of a sudden tuning in to the show. And I had a moment where I smiled and then I got right back into the zone.
It's interesting because when I think about, some family members that I've lost, luckily I haven't lost too many of them, but, my grandmother loved Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last. So every single time I hear that song, I think about my grandmother, know, and luckily my parents are still here and I'm grateful for them. But I feel like, again, music.
Oh yeah,
it's a way to even if you're not a very spiritual person, and I don't know if I'm a very spiritual person, but I believe in God. I'm not an atheist, but like I believe music.
Oh yeah,
it brings us closer to it. Right, that's the word I was looking for.
It's a healer.
It is, isn't it? It helps you get through tough times. I know you just lost your dog too recently.
Lost my best buddy, and I've been posting pictures of Jack. He was a Jack Russell and a Chihuahua.
Yeah,
so he had all the hot temper and the passion of a Latin dog, along with the brains of what was that show? Kramer? Not Kramer.
Seinfeld.
No, the other guy. Oh God, help me out. Fraser.
Oh, Fraser. Yeah,
he's that kind of dog.
Yep.
And you know what? He was my buddy when we would watch some guy on the rallies. So I'd grab my guitar and I'd hear, we won with the best in the world, and I did the great job. And my dog will go, and I go, get him, Jack. Get him, Jack. Get him.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So he had a tragic end just the other day. And I cried my eyes out because that reminds me of my grief with my mom in 2020, which, we lost a lot of people in that 2020.
Almost me. I mean, I had
you exactly. And I was listening to this guy daily because I was like, this is the only voice that we have, me and some other friends. So it's a really spiritual moment. And when you go to music, especially me with my guitar, yesterday I was at Guitar Center in the corner by myself for about an hour, just playing and emoting, right? Because I needed to get out of the house because the death of my dog just reminded me of my grief, and I constantly am working through it.
You mentioned your mother being back in Canada.
Yes.
Is that what is your background? Are you originally from Canada?
I was born in Uruguay, Montevideo, which is in South America, a great soccer team. And my family, they moved to Canada, to make a better life for their children, right? So it's the typical cliche story. They went and they suffered and they sacrificed for myself and brother to become what we become, and be happy because they gave us the opportunity.
You know, it's interesting, John, and I'm sorry what you've had to go through with losing your pet, losing your mother. It's terrible. But I feel like doctors overprescribe drugs for people that are down and depressed. And I think these are the three things, and you tell me if you disagree or not.
Man.
I kind of wrote it down. Obviously, music being a pathway, whether you don't have to be a musician, go see a show. When I go see a concert, one of my favorite bands growing up was the band Live. You know, I saw them a couple times a few years ago. To me, there's nothing better in the world than when you're front row watching one of your favorite shows. Pets. I think pets are another way. If you're down and out, you know, man's best friend. I love dogs, whatever you like, cats, whatever you like. And then I think it doesn't have to be sports. You could be watching sports or exercising, getting exercise. I feel like if people did a little bit more and consume themselves with music and maybe their animals, pets, and maybe sports and get some exercise, even taking a walk.
I call it escape.
I
literally say, okay, because I've just walked off a stage. Last month we played to 8,500 people at a packed Pacific Amphitheater in LA. And when it's those moments where I say, "Oh, this is it," I feel great. But you can get dragged down again, right? And so it's like you find something, you forcefully find something. You say, because I just the last few days, I come off a successful show. And I'm feeling like I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I'm sad. I'm angry. And then, you know, I need to say, do something. So I went to a music store, or it could have been just me walking around. I'll do the walk around the block, but it's too hot, right? So whatever it is, people, we're all in the same boat. We're fighting this depression we've had since 2020, and it's escape. Find a path. Force yourself, and then you'll see. Once you drill it, right? Once you dig in, you're going to come out smiling.
Besides doing this radio show, which is definitely therapy for me, calling people right-wing buffoons and some of Chris's friends on social media, I get into it with them.
Right.
Calling them idiots and right-wing buffoons and telling them to take off their Donald Trump knee pads is very therapeutic for me. Does that make me a sick person?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I agree, because the other side.
My friends? Come on now.
Chris has some really eccentric friends, that's for sure. But you know what? Sometimes getting it out, listen, social media can be a cesspool of hatred.
Yes.
I'll be the first one to admit this. However, when I see a clown on social media saying Trump won in 2020, when I say good luck tonight, pleasuring yourself to the orange turd,
you got some classics.
It makes me feel good.
And I write songs about it. I write little ditties.
Exactly. And John, you talked about it during the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of it was about escape, right? We getting a chance, because all of us were boxed up into our houses. It was all about the entertainment, right? It was about movies, it was about television, but it was especially about music. And it just showed you the power of music, right? And how impactful it can be on people's lives.
I had bad COVID. I had Delta last year. And it took me 3.5 weeks.
Bad airline too, by the way.
And they're all now like that. But I was terrified. You know, I couldn't get up. I was really out, and the venues were calling weekly. Are you okay? Can you hit the notes? Can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty good. I just gotta relax and rest. And I'm like, sounding like Darth Vader, you know. And after that, you know, I said, how do I get back on that stage and like not feel that I'm running out of breath? Yeah, that was terrifying. So we did that in Waukegan, right? And that at that point, coming back into that scene, every room was like still, basically shut down to only certain number of seats, separation and everything. So we going back into the trenches basically. But wow, all of a sudden September, October comes in, and it's like we've been on this whole high flight, you know, to a whole time.
I have a request. When the day comes, and it will come, that Donald Trump is indicted, is maybe we can get you back in studio to sing 1999 by Prince. What do you think? You think that'll happen? You know?
Absolutely.
You can sing that now, by the way. You're pretty good.
Yeah. You gonna sing along with me?
Let's pretend that Donald Trump.
I was dreaming.
Let's pretend that he's already been indicted.
Forgive me if I go astray.
I was dreaming when I wrote this. Do me if it goes astray. But when I woke up this morning, could have swore it was Judgment Day.
Yeah.
The sky was so purple, there were people running everywhere.
trying to run from the destruction. You know I didn't even care. Ready? 'Cause they said 2000 party over roofs out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. 1999. Don't you wanna go?
Awesome. Yes.
Top notch,
And
baby.
so when Trump gets indicted, we'll have him back. And you do believe he'll be indicted, right?
I do.
Yeah.
No, I'm come on, man. Come on, man.
It's
a
gonna
it's
happen.
a wannabe Tony Soprano episode. It's just you know, if it's there and I unclassified it and then it's planted now and today's latest thing is well, you know, he needed to write a memoir.
Yeah, memoir.
Yeah.
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 That
And
must
then
be what it is.
Mark Levin will be like, "What's wrong with writing a memoir? It's in the Constitution."
Yeah, exactly.
He does love using that. The Constitution. He loves that word, doesn't he?
Over
He's
and
all
over,
it.
yeah.
Over and over and over again.
If you had to serenade Stormy Daniels, what would you sing for her?
Do me, baby, like you never done before. Oh, give it to me till I just can't take no more. Come on, do me, baby, like you never done before.
Stormy baby.
I want you now. I just can't take no more.
John, that song is going to cost you $120,000. You got to
She
be
gonna
careful.
pay me?
Non-disclosure. Yeah, you're going to have to be careful with that one. Not that you did anything wrong. I mean, I'm sure because everybody just pays. Here you go. Here's $120,000 because I like you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't make love. John, how can people follow you on social media?
BGsGold.com, BG's Gold Tribute on Facebook. And I put up the posts that says all the cities we're playing in. And you can find us because we're everywhere on both sides of the coast. The other thing is, too, in Instagram, John Barry Prince. Look at that, right? John Barry Prince, John Lennon, Barry Gibb, Prince. And so little hooks like that. And I also put a lot of little personal videos on those pages.
John, you're a great friend. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thanks, brother.
You are super talented,
Thanks
man.
very
I
much.
always love. I can
Thanks
listen
for having me.
I can listen to
Absolutely.
you play all day. It's incredible. When's your next show, by the way?
The next show is October 14 at the Sterling Club here across from the Elvis.
I would love to go. I think-
And then also on January 1st, we've got the Madrid Club at the Sunset Station. So January 1st, open to the public. Come on down and feel the fever, babies.
You are the best, John. I
Thank
love
you.
you, man. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. We'll have you on again soon. The great John Acosta, ladies and gentlemen, the producer and leader of the Bee Gees Gold Tribute Band. If you haven't seen him perform live, you got to do it, man. It's awesome. Chris Wynn, thank you so much for being